All right, White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki was asked if the U.S. is finally ready to stop buying Russian oil in today's, and you're in on this too.
I am.
This is fun.
This is. I've never done it
This is our
the
first
Psaki
time.
Dodge. Yeah, I usually look over to
Well,
you
I didn't want to have a whole
couch.
conversation. You
Yes.
took out. All right,
I know. Now I ruined it.
Now I can't do my normal
Forget it.
normal
right.
thing. That was going to be my thing right there. In
I
today's
ruined it.
Psaki Dodge.
Are we ready to pledge not to buy any more Russian gas?
Well, as you know, it's really. Let me give you actually kind of an update on this because I think there's been a little confusion. One moment. The U.S. government doesn't dictate where the U.S. market sells our own oil and gas products, nor where it acquires crude or refined products for domestic consumption.
All right, that was Jen Psaki speaking at the White House yesterday. Just a few thoughts on the crisis that's broken out between Russia and Ukraine, this war, and what it all means for us here in the United States. Joe Biden said last week there is a price to pay to defend freedom around the world, and he meant that literally. He's talking about gas and oil prices. You see, it's all part of this master plan. If gas hits $7 a gallon here, great, no problem. That's what the administration wants. The goal of all these Green New Dealers is to wean all of us off fossil fuels, and there's no better way to do that than to charge $7, $8, $9, $10 a gallon, which could be coming if this crisis continues in Ukraine. If Joe Biden really wanted to lower gas prices, he could do it with the stroke of his pen. The same day that he shut down the Keystone Pipeline and ended oil and gas leases was the same day that he made all of us dependent on Russia, and we still are. All right, for more, let's welcome in our powerhouse panel, get some reaction to that. This is the big topic right now. I want to welcome in from the Independent Women's Forum, former New York Congresswoman Nan Hayworth and former Trump campaign aide Rick Gates, along with Allison Maloney, my co-host. We're all in studio together. This is the big. I just said the quiet part out loud.
No, you're right.
And Jen Psaki, you can see, you commented on this. Her face gets red when she's asked questions like that because she knows that the answer that she's about to deliver is not the real answer. But this is the quiet part out loud. This is the big secret to what's happening in Eastern Europe, isn't it?
No, yes. This entire terrible situation, this death, destruction, this worldwide disruption, supply chains are being disrupted as well. It's not just what's happening in Ukraine directly, but what's happening around the world is all hinging on American energy policy and on the ideology of the Democrat Party's environmental left.
Yeah.
And they do want to starve out. We've heard it with Biden's nominees, right? They want to starve out the oil industry, the fossil fuel industry. This is madness, especially now, and we are funding Putin's murder.
And look at what Germany has done, Rick. Just as it relates to Russia and Ukraine. So Germany, they were on the fence because Nord Stream 1, which is up and running, and Nord Stream 2, that's Russia. That's the Baltic Sea. The pipe goes right under it and flows right into Germany. Almost 40% of their energy comes from Russia, and Germany said all of a sudden over the weekend, a big 180. You know what? Nope, the heck with it. I think holding Russia accountable when it comes to energy and versus welcoming the Russian army at the doorstep of the German border is probably worth doing. So they sent Stingers, Javelin, tanks, all sorts of military equipment to Ukraine. America's got to follow.
Yeah, look, Germany has absolutely done a profound 180. And you look at what Germany has done. Angela Merkel, for more than 20 years, she worked on Nord Stream 2. She wanted to make sure that Europe, Germany specifically, is energy independent. Get that, that makes sense. But when you look at the concessions that the EU has made over the years to a guy like Vladimir Putin, including the U.S., remember, we could have had Ukraine in the European Union in 2014.
Right.
There was an agreement that was getting ready to be signed in 2013. They didn't do it. Germany is, in my opinion, largely at fault for this crisis, as is the U.S. And it all goes back to allowing Putin to have leverage over the energy sector, which gave him political leverage as well in the region.
Okay, let me just do a quick reset. If you are just waking up with us here, it's 11 after the hour right now. Several Ukrainian cities are under attack right now. Kyiv right now looks like the next city that is going to face serious invasions from the ground. The city all the way to the east of Ukraine, northeast Kharkiv, there was bombing last night. A government building was blown up. Looked like a municipal building. Actually, it kind of looked like the Pentagon, just the facade of this building. Take a look at your screens here. That's a government building in a sovereign nation that faced an air assault right there, and you can see that explosion. A Russian tank convoy, almost 40 miles long, is now just outside Kyiv. Now, we're expecting tremendous civilian casualties, but we knew it would come to something like this. The only benefit the Ukrainians have is this is slow moving because it's not like I-95 heading right through Kyiv. This is going to be very, very slow moving, but very scary on the heels of the biggest speech of the president's life tonight, the State of the Union address. Allison, he's got to be, as you say, agile in his ability to change what he says, given what happens right there in Eastern Europe.
That speech has probably been rewritten a dozen times and probably will throughout the day, whether or not he can deliver confidence.
Can he handle that? I mean, seriously,
look, we've seen him speak before. It's going to be 9 o'clock at night. It's going to be in a teleprompter, but he can say what he wants, but it does come down to the tone, how he delivers it. Because normally when he speaks, and I think he tries to pursue strength, but he shows anger. He yells or he whispers. And so everyone says, look, it's very simple. Let's start producing our own energy, because not only will our gas prices go up, but Germany and other European nations won't have to rely on Russia. Canada's already said we are not importing oil. We are always the last to follow. So he needs to show the nation that he's willing to take a stand and make a difference. And I don't think he's going to do that because he's going to cave to the far left.
He's got an opportunity that American presidents get occasionally to unite not just the people of America, but democracies around the world.
Exactly
I hope he takes that opportunity. Nan, you've been in that room.
I have.
You represented New York in Congress.
Yes.
I don't think we're so divided right now politically. You remember 2009, that "you lie," that when a
Joe
member,
Wilson.
yelled that out to Barack Obama.
Yes, when he was assailing the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
Wrongly.
We're very divided right now, though. I don't know if I expect that, but what do you expect that chamber to be like tonight?
Well, I think it will be tense. It will be tense on both sides.
Yeah.
And as Rick mentioned, and you mentioned earlier, there are 2 rebuttals from the Democrats to this speech tonight. I have never seen that in my lifetime. Have you ever seen someone from the same party?
No, not so many. And then Tulsi Gabbard giving the Republican. It's going to be fascinating to watch.
Tulsi Gabbard, by the way,
Think about
giving the Republican rebuttal.
And Kim Reynolds. Isn't Governor Reynolds also delivering a rebuttal?
Yes.
She
I think there's another version.
I think so. It's and by the way, this is
she's
interesting
terrific.
from a PR perspective, Allison. So we've seen. Remember Joe Kennedy, the congressman?
Yes.
He was in Congress for about 6 years in Massachusetts. He had and it's just
Lip
one of these
gloss.
foolish things. Yeah, he had it looked like Blistex or something, but it was like half on his cheek, and he's delivering this rebuttal. And then Marco Rubio. I'll be fair. Marco Rubio with the water bottle, and he's frantically trying to address everything point by point that Barack Obama said. Tonight, what I heard, Tulsi Gabbard, the speech has been prepared for days. Just deliver a speech. Don't try to reply to what the president said. Make a speech. Make almost a campaign speech.
I mean, you know what he's going to say.
Yeah.
I don't think there's going to be any surprises.
Right.
We all know what he's going to say. His talking points are going to be.
I'll be very interested to see how he does. Usually he's okay for about 15 minutes, and then he starts to fade.
Yeah. So
And
I
he
don't
starts
expect
to
a stem
stumble.
winder. I don't expect this to be,
I agree.
who was it? Buchanan. Somebody delivered like a 2-hour State of the Union years and years ago. I expect this to be tidy, 28 minutes, something like that, 34 minutes.
I think it'll be a relatively compact speech.
And I'm watching to see if he shifts the policy agenda. That's the real big question. And the thing you have to keep in mind, Joe Biden's not writing this speech. Ron Klain, Susan Rice. So they're very intent on putting certain things in it. So I think you're going to continue to see that, Greenpeace. You're going to continue to see an economic plan that they are now scrapping Build Back Better, and they're moving forward with a different economic plan. What is that going to look like? What does that mean? But at the end of the day, you're absolutely right. He could unite not just the country, but the world. I don't think he'll be able to do it.
He's a man who's
Our
running out
coverage
of
starts
options.
at, he certainly is, only 15 months in. Our coverage starts at 8 o'clock Eastern tonight right here on Newsmax. Eric Bolling and Lindsay Keith will lead our coverage, and the president will address the nation right around 9 o'clock Eastern. Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, where real news for real people.